Joshua 1:3 says, I promise you what I promised Moses. Everywhere you go, you will be on land I have given you. Now notice he doesn't say everywhere you plan to go. He doesn't say everywhere you want to go. He doesn't say everywhere you believe in. He says everywhere you actually go. He says where you put your foot, that's where I will give it to you. You got to go for it. There's a time to stop thinking and praying and sitting and to actually, you have to act. Proverbs 14 says, work brings profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. It's a good thing that Joshua was not like a lot of us sometimes. Because if it was today, we'd probably see something like this. Joshua gathers everyone by the river. He gives some kind of invitation. We're going to cross the river. Everybody who's ready to cross the river, I should raise your hand. Everybody bow your heads, close your eyes. Right? Raise your hand. I see that hand. I see that hand. Right? And people come forward before Joshua maybe and they cry and they weep. I'm going to cross the river. Right? I'm going to cross the river. And maybe they weep maybe and they make commitments maybe to rededicate themselves to the task of crossing the river. Maybe everybody would go home and they feel better because they kind of got their life right with God. We're going to cross the doggone river because God wants us to cross the river. Then they come back maybe the next week, see what other good things Joshua had to share with them. Then they'd seek forgiveness for not crossing the river. And then they make a new commitment to cross the river, and then they form maybe a committee to study the implications of crossing the river and what kind of time frame we'd be looking at, right? And they never cross the river. Now, is that you today? Is God telling you to do something? Maybe it's just a step of faith forward in your commitment to Him. Maybe it's just something He's calling you to do, but you have to trust Him to do it. It's time for no more chicken talk. It's time to do it, right? Obey what God is telling you to do. Begin to live it.